Well, welcome back. I have 2011 Toyota Sienna. It has two codes, P0037, P0141. Both oxygen sensor codes, bank 1, sensor 2, heater circuit. So we're going to go through and test this O2 sensor out, see if the heater circuit's bad. Pretty easy to do, and replace it if we need to. So we're underneath driver's side dash. Believe it or not, this O2 sensor for bank 1, sensor 2 actually comes up inside the van. The connector's right behind here. It's attached to the other end of it, and here's the lead from the actual O2 sensor. So we want to test the heater circuit to see if there's an issue. This just unclips. You have to kind of stick a screwdriver in here and just be careful and clip them. 2 push pins, one here, and then of course, just blinded you. Sorry about that. And the one piece that goes up in there. 2 push pins and a couple clips just to undo them. Let me see if I can show you what they look like at the back of this clip. Banging all over the place here. So there's a little, you got to kind of stick a screwdriver in here and unclip that, and it just slides forward a little bit and pops out of there. No big deal. So I've reached in here. It's got a little tab on it there. Undid that from behind so I can get at it. It's right behind here. And then I'm going to test the 2 heater circuits here. 2 wires for the heater circuit to see what we get for ohms. So I have my meter set on ohms, and you don't really need a wiring diagram. Heater circuit wires are going to be the same color. You're going to have 4 wires, 2 black wires in this case. They're their heater circuit. So we're going to take a look and see what we get here reading wise. I think I can do this without blocking you, hopefully. Let me see if I can move you a little bit here. Get out of my own way so you can see the front of the meter. It's on auto range here. So, get a good reading. 140 kiloohms. If you look top center of that display, kiloohms. It's not 139 ohms, 139 kiloohms. That's going to be a problem, I believe. So I have replacement. There's a part number right there. This is Denso, which is the original equipment manufacturer for this, 2344540. And let's take a reading on this. Same thing, 2 black wires. Don't jam the leads from the meter into the front of the connector. You'll just cause problems. Just touch the front of them. So, what do I get with this? Let's get a good connection here. 14 ohms, 13.5 ohms. So, there's your problem. That sensor's bad, so there's no reason to even go any further. I'm going to go underneath the car. We're going to get this sensor undone from the exhaust, replace it with a new one, feed it up into here, reconnect it. The sensor's definitely bad, the heater circuit on it. So we're basically directly under where the, even with the front doors. And behind the catalytic converter that comes off of the back of the engine, the side towards firewall. So there's your O2 sensor. That's bank 1, sensor 2 downstream. Oh yeah, that one broke right loose. So I've already disconnected it inside, and you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if you look at the edge of this. Right here, you see those lines right there. Hopefully you can see them. They're where I grip that. That's from this wrench. This is called a right grip wrench, or very similar to a snap-on flank drive. It's got little serrations. It will not slip off. A lot of times if you try to use a regular wrench on these, you'll end up ramming them off because they're really hard to get loose sometimes. We've got the new part here. Careful with these. Like I said, it comes with anti-seize. Don't get the anti-seize on the element. You only want it on the threads. So there's your anti-seize. Comes with it, just a little container. I'll show you what I mean by the threads. So you can see there's the element right there, and then the threads. Keep the anti-seize on the threads only. Don't get it on the element. Okay. Got the anti-seize on threads. Just going to reach up in here blocking you. I realize that. I'm trying to get the light where you can actually see. Just start it. You don't want to cross thread these. They're hard enough. You don't want to have to get in there and clean those threads or do anything with that. So you just be careful with that. Thread it in there. You got to hook this up afterwards. You don't want to twist the wire all up. And let's tighten it up. It has a crush washer on it. Tightened up, good. And we'll push this back up in here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Right up through the hole. You really can't see this, but I'm just pushing it back through the hole. Not really anything to see. Push it back up through the hole. Push the grommet in, get the grommet in place. Actually, very simple to do. It has a groove on it. I'll show you that from the old one in a second here. Make sure it's in the groove all the way around so it doesn't get any moisture or anything underneath getting in. So here's the old one. So you can see it's got a little groove in it all the way around. Just get it right in that groove. That's it. We're going to go back up, hook it back up, close things up. So we're back under the driver's side dash. Here's the new one. It's all connected here. I'm just checking the grommet to make sure from the inside that I don't have any issue. No, it's in place right. And this connector is right here. I know you can't see it, but it's right behind. So I'm just going to plug this back in and put it back on its bracket. Hook everything back up. It's going to be hard for me to show you that. I'm going to have to do that and move the camera because it's right in my way. But that's all there is to it. Really, not very hard at all. Okay, I'm going to try to show you this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it to you because I can't really see what I'm showing you here. But in here, hopefully, I'm showing you right behind that panel. There's the clip. It just clips on no bracket. Plugged it back in. And then we're just going to put the molding back in place. And that's it. Just showing you the panel back in place. That little hole up there, it's got one, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got a push pin, one push pin there, that's it. Just separate, drop that, separate that out. When you have to take it apart, be careful with it. And then just put it back together. No big deal. Pretty easy to actually get to. Not too bad. Not too much of a contortionist level on this one, even though it's under the dash. Well, that's it. Pretty easy job. Take half an hour to 45 minutes. Not very difficult. The only part that can give you a really hard time really with O2 sensors is sometimes they do not want to come out of the exhaust. Sometimes they can be really difficult. That's why I have that one particular wrench just for O2 sensors. And I have some sockets for them as well, but that wrench seems to do a pretty good job most of the time. I will clear the codes and then I'll drive it and check the readiness monitors with a scanner. If you don't have a scanner where you can check readiness monitors, you're going to have to drive it for a couple days. If the light doesn't come back, if your codes don't come back, you're good. It's pretty obvious from testing this heater circuit that that's what was bad. If you have to do this in this vehicle, I hope it helps you out. If you like the videos, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.